Will do. Gentlemen, first of all, congratulations on the film. I thought it was fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate that.
Michael, now you've had extensive experience directing television, but this is your first feature. Can you just talk about how the experience was different for you as a director?
Well, before television, I came from theater, so my heart was really in the place of creating a world, right? Casting the world, creating the world, seeing it through in the story from start to finish. Television's a different skill, and I'm really happy and I feel very lucky to work on the stuff that I've been able to work on. It's a different skill in the sense that, the obvious sense, it's a long form, right? Like it's like running a relay. You're telling these stories and handing off to other writers sometimes, or always, and other directors and just other tones. And so what you can do is try and control what you can control and tell the story the best way you can, but it's always within the framework of a style and a sort of tone that the show has. So for me, that making this film was about invention. It was like, this film could be anything. Why does it have to look like this? Why does it have to feel like this? Why is there no big violin score, telling us, what's happening in the background? That's not what this film is. So the process of inventing that, casting it, was a dream, come true from start to finish, really up and down this cast. And then being thrown into the middle of just a pandemic to make it, there's a lot we could talk about, but it was really that. It was just like, I really enjoyed the process of devising what kind of story to tell and how to tell it.
You mentioned your castings, Mark, again, a fantastic job. What drew you to the role of Sweeney?
Well, I've been doing, when you're a guy who comes out of comedy and has a very specific way of being publicly, it's very easy to be cast as that. We need a cranky guy, we need an intense, aggravated funny man. We need an old cranky dad or whatever. And so, I turned down more stuff than I even know, to be honest with you. But this was Michael was very persistent. And I didn't know why, but he really gravitated towards my series, which very few people watched, and found something in that moved him to stay on me about doing this part. And now I also realize that if I want to grow as an actor or continue doing it and learning how to do it and build confidence around stuff, I got to take chances and take risks. So that was the deal. I was like, the part seemed interesting. It didn't seem like me. It wasn't a cranky Jewish neurotic, whatever. It wasn't an angry guy. So I'm like, all right, well, if this guy believes in me, I'll follow him. I'll believe in me then. So that was it. It was to take the chance and learn the accent and figure out who this guy was from the emotional framework that I have inside myself, beneath all that other chatter.
Can you talk a little bit about Sweeney's motivation for helping helping
well,
us?
Yeah,
we learn a little bit, but I feel like there's a little more to him.
Well, I think you learn his past somewhere in a third of the way or halfway through the movie when they're talking. But I think this is a guy that somehow ends up managing that place. He's not even the owner. Right. So right away you got to figure how'd I end up here? What this is penance for choices I've made in my life. Now either I was I'm hiding from something, or I've just had to pull myself back together. So I chose that this is a guy that was trying to kind of reground himself, and he'd been through something, and I think that when you're that kind of person who's operating in his own second chance or second life, to sort of give someone else a second chance is part of your karmic responsibility, right? So I don't think he knew that he would have the depth of emotions that he ultimately had for her, but I think it's really about kindred spirits, understanding that everybody needs a break.
Well, gentlemen, again, congratulations. Thank you for the time and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Nice to talk to you. Cheers, Jeff.